What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm MoedotJ and we are locked in. This is episode 7 of Euphoria, and it just gets crazier and crazier in this Euphoria universe. We know Rue was just running around the city going through withdrawals. We seen that Nate actually went back and got that disc from Maddy. He had to pull a gun on her, but he got it back. He gave that to Jules. Man, it's crazy. But this week, we're actually getting to see the play that Lexi put together. Now, this isn't going to be a long recap because it's brief and it just shows us each person playing that character. So before we jump into it though, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you can be a part of it. Hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. Now, is Rue going to get high this episode? No. But we're going to touch on Lexi and how everybody, all of her friends, they grew up to make this play. So let's jump into it. This is episode 7 of Euphoria. The way this episode starts off and how it's going to be, this opening scene is Lexi. Now we see her in the back getting prepared. It's going to switch between the stage play and actually what's going on in real life so you can see how they correspond with the characters. We see Lexi at Rue's house. This is right after Rue's father had passed, and we hear her mom in the background talking about they had a little bit of life insurance, but not really a lot. Lexi is trying to find out where Rue is, and of course, she's in that back room doing a little... Y'all know what I'm talking about. Now, when she gets in there, she's talking to Rue, and Rue is doing some of the drugs that her father left behind. She's breaking them down and she's snorting them. Now, Lexi is seeing this, and she doesn't want Rue to be on drugs or do anything. So she wants to read her a poem and tell her that you got to get through these type of situations. But Rue doesn't really want to hear it. She'd rather cope with the drugs than, you know, have anybody else around her supporting her. Then it flips to the stage play, and we have someone else playing Rue. Now, we're looking at all this. Everyone is in the crowd. Rue, Maddy, Kat, Cassie, Nate, everyone is watching this. We know Jules and Rue haven't spoken to each other ever since Rue told her, "You're dead to me." They had that little makeshift intervention at the house where Rue went on the loose and ran around the city for a whole 24 hours. But they see each other here in the crowd and they look at each other. You know, you do a little look and then you look away. You like, I don't want to get caught making eye contact. Now, Lexi breaks down the cast and who they really are. Lexi, she's in the play Grace. Her sister is Holly, aka Cassie. Her best friend Marta, and this is Maddy. Luna is Kat, and Jade is Rue. She's the one that doesn't look anything like her original character. Just a little bit of mixed girl with long hair, but everyone else was a little bit closer looking than what Jade is. Of course, this is a school play. Now, I don't know how many of y'all actually went to school plays. I went to 0 in my lifetime. But she comes out, and this is our lives. You hear someone in the back talking about, yeah, that's fucking cool. Yeah, it's like it's a play. I'm not going to a school play. I'm about to stay at the house. We know Lexi and Fez have been getting close ever since that New Year's Eve where they met each other and sat down and actually had a talk. He's the only one that's really supporting this play. So she's asking for advice. Should she go along with this play, even though she's making it about family members and friends? And Fez is like, I guess, but if you think it's going to hurt their feelings, even though some people need their feelings hurt, if it's going to hurt their feelings, don't invite it to it. Will they get madder if they show up and see you portraying them as something? Would that be madder than them not getting an invite at all? Because, like, you don't have to invite them. Of course, Lexi has her sister Holly, and she's talking about when she hit puberty. She's talking about, oh, I look disgusting. Now, Lexi is like, dang, my sister is a year and a couple of days older than me. Maybe in a couple years, my tatas will look that good too. Now, they got one of the coolest moms on here. Lexi and Cassie's mom, they got a boy playing the show. Ooh, look at you. I never seen a girl that thinks she looks like a kid with tatas like that. Now, her mom is always drunk, but she cool as hell. Unfortunately for Lexi, in 433 days or 432 days, she didn't develop out like her sister. Now, she's in the back with the actress that's playing Holly, and she's over here crying. She's like, what the hell? Just like the game, the show A League of Their Own. There's no crying and acting. Come on, get focused. We know Fez is supporting Lexi, and he's told her, I'm gonna show up to this play. I'm gonna watch it. If it's anything like Stand By Me, it's gonna be great. Now, you remember Faye's boyfriend. He actually shows back up, but he's been on some weird stuff. Last week, we seen that he told Faye he was cooperating. He wasn't snitching. He was cooperating with the police. That's snitching. Now Fez is getting ready and we see him sit down on the couch and he puts his phone on the table. And in my head, I'm thinking he might be trying to record having Fez or Ashtray say anything. You know, he's cooperating with the police. So if he can get them to say, oh, we killed Mouse, we did this to Mouse. Yeah, this guy, he's up to no good. Now in Lexi's head, she's envisioning developing like her sister and being the girl no one at the school could get. You all know the girl that was real hot in high school. Now you look at her like, damn, you fell all the way off. Well, luckily for her, she didn't become that girl. Now this gotta be a white high school because we weren't allowed to have women dressing like this up in there. They just all popping pills, doing all kind of drugs. But Lexi said luckily she didn't develop because she didn't have all of the problems that her sister had. Now we see Holly on the bed crying, talking to Pete. Pete is Nate. You're all I ever look at. I don't want to be with no one but you. Just a lot of unnecessary drama in high school that I'm glad I did not suffer. During all of this, Lexi looks out in the crowd and she doesn't see Fezco. They saved a seat for him, but he hasn't showed up yet. This has Lexi thinking back to when her father actually left them, and we know that Rue's father also passed. So when they were younger, they went out to get some ice cream, and we know that their dad is a junkie. It's the middle of the day outside in the park. You know, if it's hot enough to be outside in skirts and overalls and everybody got shorts on, the sun's just a glaring and the ice cream man's out, you know it got to be at least 75, 80 degrees. He out here knocked out with jeans and a flannel on. Lexi and Cass both know something is wrong with their dad. They know he's on drugs. So on the ride back, she doesn't even eat her ice cream. She in the back seat. I'm talking about ice cream melting. It falls on the seat. I would have turned up. Hey, if you don't get that off that cloth. But she's hurting because this is her father and she sees that, man, he's not looking good. Rue and Lexi, they're best friends. Now, they used to go hang out at the mart where Fez owned, and they would get on the roof and chill. You hear Lexi saying, I think before we finish high school, we should take everything that we don't like about ourselves and change it. So, you know, she's at least being hopeful and looking forward. Now, Rue, she's not really paying no attention, but this is one person that she actually got to talk to because her sister Cassie, you know, she had her own friends and it was really just her and Rue. Lexi said that Jade, aka Rue, was the first person to let her know that it's cool being uncool. You don't have to be the most popular person. In school, was I the most popular? Nah, everybody knew me. I was a class clown, yeah, but you don't have to be popular. Now, she's talking to the girls talking about, hey, in 10 years, man, I think technology gonna take over. And they're like, man, we just taking selfies. But she's thinking outside the box. Her friends and sister, they're just thinking like high school students. You remember Rue told Gia it feels like she doesn't know what's going on in her life. Well, that's because you've been on drugs and you've been in and out the house. Now, Gia said, do you feel like as you get older, you're going to lose memories of our father? And if so, how do you stop it? And Rue is telling her you can't. So the best, I mean, everyone has memories and it's the ones that you actually hold on, the ones that are near and dear to you. You're not going to really forget the good memories. But this play also has its good moments, but it makes people wonder and think about their past lives. So we heard Gia and Rue talking about the memories of their father. When Lexi puts up an imitation of her, Cassie, and her dad dancing around, you can see Cassie kind of getting emotional about it, thinking about her father. He's not dead, he's just gone. Now they dive in a little deep with what's going on with Cassie and Maddy and how Maddy used to date Nate. And then they broke up. Remember, guys, they broke up when Cassie got with him. And now everyone, you know, when you're young, you think you know what love is, but you don't really know what it is. You don't even know what life is yet. We'll get back to them in a second. But right now, Rue is trying to get Lexi to hit that weed just a little bit. It's not drugs. It's just a little bit of weed. Nothing too mad. It's just a little bit of weed. It ain't pills. Just a little bit of weed. It's not heroin. Just a little bit of weed. During the play, Lexi keeps looking out to see where Fez is at. And she said throughout her whole life, she always had a feeling that the worst would happen. Something horrible would happen at any single moment. Now, not seeing Fez here, you already know her mind is racing. With that gut feeling that Lexi has, she might be right. Back at Fez's house, he's getting dressed and getting ready. Now, Faye's boyfriend is in the living room. We know he put his phone down on the table. He tells her, hey, I love you. And he starts to whisper in her ear. We already know that he told her that he's cooperating with the police. You remember when Faye first moved in? We heard Fez say, Ashtray doesn't like her and wasn't talking to him because he moved her in. Now he's seeing everything that's going on. He didn't see him on the camera last week, but he sees this conversation. And if you guys are whispering in the house, y'all gotta be up to something. Now something is up because Fez is asking tie or no tie, and we just seen Faye was steaming all of the clothes, getting them prepared. But whatever her boyfriend told her, she's being a little bit cautious. And our boy Ashtray grabs a box knife. Man, you cannot leave Ashtray unattended. We see Lexi and Jade walking, and she's saying, I don't like weed. I can't control my brain. That's because you're on that trash weed. You get that good weed to stimulate your mind. It eases your mind a little bit. But she does admit that she thinks that Jade uses drugs because it's easier to cope with all of her bad problems and those bad thoughts in her mind. Jules and Rue, they haven't spoken since the intervention, and she's seeing each other around the school. You can't dodge each other, and they just haven't spoke. She said, I thought we were meant for each other. But before she walks off, she looks at Jules. They look at each other. She walks off and she says, what's up? And then she just leaves. At least the conversation has begun. I'm a firm believer in tough love, but I think that Rue's mom is one of the worst mothers I've seen. She has Rue in here. She's saying, you broke me. You can go do all the drugs you want to. But if it comes to me saving one of my daughters out of the two, then I'm going to cut you off and I'm going to save Gia. Now, Rue is like, what? Really? I could do whatever drugs? What's going with this? Now, she starts to say that Gia is doing bad in school. She's been to detention several times. She's getting a D in math. Well, this doesn't have anything to do with Rue. This is more of you being the mother and making sure that she's doing her homework. You're letting Rue just rip and run around the streets. You said you wanted to save Gia. Then that should be your primary focus. Take her phone from her if she's getting up in the morning and she's on the phone. Do something. Be a mother. Discipline her. Do something. Don't just let her be like Rue and do whatever the hell she wants in this house. She also told Rue, I give up. Do what you want to do. I'm not going to stand in your way. Now, if a man told his kid that, they'd call him all kinds of deadbeats and, oh, he doesn't deserve to be a father. Well, this doesn't deserve to be a mother. Telling your daughter, do whatever drugs you want. I'm going to save your sister. No, you're supposed to do everything you can for both of your kids. Rue ain't 18. She live in your house. That's your responsibility. You had those kids. No one said Hattie's. You did. Now we're really going to touch on the relationship between Martha and Holly, aka Maddy and Cassie. Now, she said she never met anyone like Martha. She was just so full of herself and she had that kind of confidence that you couldn't break. Grace, aka Lexi, said with someone with that kind of confidence, she couldn't quite trust her until Martha actually moved in with him because her parents were arguing. And since her parents already went through that, she brought her in, and that's when Martha became more like a sister to the two sisters, Holly and Grace. Now this takes us to the point where, yeah, they got in the bed, they cried together, they're like sisters, they're relatable, to where in the real world, Cassie slept with Maddy's ex-boyfriend. Remember, guys, they weren't together. She goes in the room and you hear the pain in Maddy's voice saying, why would you do that? You're my best friend. Why would you do that? Now, Cassie in there, she got that door locked because she don't give a damn. All she's worried about is what her and Nate got going on. Cassie sees how she's being portrayed in the show, so she actually gets up and leaves the stage play. And Lexi rolls over and she sees it, but she's hurt. This is exactly what she was telling Fez. I don't want her to get mad at me. Cassie goes into the bathroom. She's crying. She's kind of hurt. You can't be hurt. This is what you did. If you want to fix it, then go get right. But she looks in that mirror. She fixes herself up. She still got a little bit of tears rolling down her eyes, but she like fixing her hair. You got to go back out there. You got to face reality. They begin to touch on Kat a little bit. You remember she used to be on webcams. She used to be dressed up. She used to take advantage of them vulnerable men that couldn't get women. Charge them too. Now Cassie, she's on some real life weird. Let me tell you, she telling Nate, you tell me what I eat, what I wear, who I can talk to. I'm like, I don't want no woman in my life like that. You ain't got no damn self thoughts. You can't make decisions for yourself. You want me to do everything? Hell no. To the no. I said hell to the no. But she's infatuated with Nate, and that's what she's willing to do. Now, this is where things start getting a little confusing. We see Nate. We know what his dad went through. him and Cassie, she's staying at the house. The mirrors are flipping. We see him with Jules at one point. We see him with his dad, but that was a nightmare. And I'm thinking, what's really going on here? It's kind of hard to decipher. We're gonna need a little bit more information, because I don't know if Cal messed with Nate, his son. I don't think that happened, but Nate's having this nightmare. That's some weird Now, you remember the lady that Maddy is babysitting for. Now, they've been getting close. They were in the pool last week. They were sipping a little bit of wine, and she was telling how she did the same thing Cassie did to one of her friends. And, you know, it is what it is. But Maddy's been taking advice from her. And she actually gets Maddy a gift. And it's one of the dresses that Maddy has been wearing. Well, something similar to it. Because she knows, hey, I know you've been in my closet, little girl. Now we have the huge showcase. She's going around getting everybody hyped. Let's go, y'all. This is the big performance here. She goes in there. She talking to Ethan, his little frail self. She talking about, you ready? He said, yeah, I'm ready. Row. Like, Ethan, you don't calm your ass down. You better go out there and perform your ass off. But you ain't that hype. Now, when you first look at this scene, we're looking around like, man, these guys are acting a little feminine to be working out. And you hear Martha talking to Pete, talking about, man, you guys are gay. And I'm looking around like, okay, I see what's going on here. These male athletes are gay, and they're in the gym working out. You remember that bad feeling? Well, back at the house, Ashtray just looking around, and he's wondering what the hell's going on in here. He sits down with that box cutter because he wants to make sure that he's close. Now, you remember, Ashtray is the one that killed Mouse. Ashtray is also the one that hit this guy in the nose with that hammer. But Ashtray has a sense of danger, and he wants to make sure that everybody's safe. Fez comes out into the living room, and everyone's kind of quiet. He's like, I'm about to leave. We see a text message from Lexi saying, I saved you the best seat in the house. But we know the play is starting, and he hasn't even showed up yet. Let me make this abundantly clear. I don't care what you do in life. Do whatever you do. Whatever makes you happy. All I'm saying is what I see on the screen. I don't care if you're gay, straight, trans, whatever you are, that's you. It don't have nothing to do with my personal life. So make sure you understand. I don't care. This channel, we welcome everybody. It's time for the big performance. All of the athletes on stage are gay. They're dancing and doing all kinds of feminine things up there. Nate is upset because they know that guy is portraying him and the male athletes that are at the school that are probably not homosexual, but they're rubbing it in their face and clowning them and making fun of them. They also got, I need a hero. You remember on Shrek 2 when the gingerbread man lost his gumball button? Yeah, they got that playing. Nate is upset. He trying to ball up his fist. He trying to contain it. Cassie trying to calm him down. Man, you can't do that, man. You can't play with somebody like that. Nate, he storms out of it. And I mean, he's rightfully so. He can be angry about this. Now, they just portrayed everyone at that school. And this is talking about Lexi and her lives as being gay. Now, that is low-key homophobic. Well, it's actually heterophobic because you're saying that every single player on that football team in that school is gay. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's wrong now. Now, if it was the other way around and they were making fun of homosexuals or the LGBT, then they'd have an uproar. So he's right to be mad about this. I know if I played on the football team, I'm like, I'm not gay. Why would you say everybody on the football team is gay? We don't do that in the locker room. We don't do that. But Nate tells Cassie, look, this is your sister. You allowed her to do this? But Cassie didn't even know about this happening either. He tells her, get your stuff and get up out of my house. Of course, Cassie, she's out of it. She left her parents' house. She left her mama's house. She packed a bag and went over to stay with Nate. Her sister's making fun of her on here. She lost her best friend, Maddy. And Nate, the guy she just told, I want you to make all the decisions in my life. What I eat, drink, sleep, talk to. He just told her to get up out the house. Now, this play is to be continued. All right, let me know what you guys think about episode 7. Did Lexi go a little bit too far in this play with everybody's character? And how do you think that the whole crew is going to cope with this? Let me know what you guys think. I'm MoedotJ. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you tune in Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern for the Euphoria episode 7 after show. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Demie on the beat, boy.